Bulginaka, do you know that cybercrime is becoming a growing problem in Fiji?
Cybercrime is defined as a crime in which a computer is the object of the crime, such as hacking and spamming.
Cybercrime is also cyberbullying and using fake profiles to cause panic and spreading false news.
If you're involved in this or know anyone who's committing these crimes, report them immediately.
I'm Polly.
And I'm Peter.
We host the Traffic Jam Show on City FM.
From 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. every weekday.
Do the right thing.
In this bulletin, all schools to remain closed today. Parties react to electoral meeting. And Japan pledges to immunization program.
From the studios of FBC Suva.
All schools will be closed today as a precautionary measure against the tropical cyclone alert now in force. The Ministry of Education is requesting teachers to report to work today and prepare classrooms as evacuation centers in case of any flooding. Heads of schools are required to make necessary arrangements for schools to be ready to take in evacuees. The RFMF engineers are assisting the National Disaster Management Office dismantle the tents in 8 schools in the Northern Division. 3 evacuation centers are now open to cater for those who need to move to safety given the looming weather condition. NDMO Director Vaisiti Soko is calling on Fijians to prepare their families, especially those in flood-prone areas, to make necessary preparations. Soko also stressed the need to people to prepare the emergency kits as the current weather situation is expected to worsen from tomorrow.
That we use this time to prepare our families, our loved ones, and especially to those that are more vulnerable. Ensure that your emergency kits are ready and update yourself with information about the current weather situation.
Most parties continue to cast doubts over the electoral process, but Supervisor of Elections Mohammed Saneem says this will be ironed out with more engagement. Party representatives walked in with a list of grievances for the Electoral Commission to address. Fiji First General Secretary Said Qayyum says most of the complaints are unfounded.
Walking out of a 3-hour briefing, the leaders of most parties had little to say.
Just about every party had express their views on how things happened last night and the way forward.
How are they going to deal with the some of the inconsistencies that actually have arisen from the declaration of donations made by various political parties?
For the Electoral Commission, the meeting was to update parties about preparations for the 2022 general election.
There is a lot of misunderstanding. So we're using these meetings as platforms to identify what sort of knowledge gaps there are and then provide the necessary clarifications to the parties.
Hope leader Tupon Ranindalo raised the issue that politicians are responsible for ensuring that voters turn up come 2022.
The parties have a lot to do to make sure there's not too many no votes. We're very interested in that.
A lot of millennials actually, can get put off things very quickly in terms of, the political system, etc. So it is the interest of all political parties to actually get people to come and vote, encourage them to vote.
It's all based on improvement, the process improvement. Going forward, we want to have more meetings so that we can collectively, with the parties, improve the service delivery.
The next Electoral Commission briefing is in June.
Police officers need to get their attitude right if they want support from the public. Defence Minister Niasir Ratu told the officers who were part of the Community Policing Symposium in Pacific Harbour that they need everyone to work hard in order to win the public's approval. Sir Ratu says it is important to get the small things right and each officer must remember that they are no different to those they serve. The Defence Minister reiterated community support can only be achieved through trust.
If you think about it carefully, your community policing platform has already been created and is yours for the taking. It's already out there, but key to latching onto that support, however, will be dependent on your institution.
More than 110,000 children in Fiji and 4 other Pacific Island countries will benefit from a vaccination project aimed at preventing any form of disease outbreak. The 4-year partnership will ensure quality immunization services are provided to children, especially those in remote areas. The partnership will boost the Ministry of Health's commitment in protecting the lives of infants, young children and adolescents, and also sets the foundation for COVID vaccination. UNICEF Pacific representative Sheldon Yet highlighted the seriousness of having an immunization program up and running.
Are using these same strategies as we work and prepare ourselves for the COVID-19 immunization program that we will be rolling out this year.
That's why it is so critical to ensure immunization systems are up and running, to ensure the childhood killers of measles, of polio, of typhoid, and all the other diseases. And we need to ensure the immunization systems that are so essential to keep children safe are fully functioning.
Prime Minister Varangian Bainimarama yesterday received a donation of more than $405,000 from 3 different organizations for the Prime Minister's TC Yasa Relief Fund. The funding will assist the government's relief and rehabilitation efforts for the TC Yasa affected communities. Bainimarama acknowledged the 3 organizations for their support towards the relief efforts that are currently being carried out in affected areas. He says the donation will assist families who have been affected by the cyclone. The Fiji Police Force donated $30,000. Fiji Water handed over a check worth around $125,000, and Courts Fiji Limited contributed around $250,000. The Spinal Injury Association yesterday received $1.2 million worth of items from PhysioNet UK. The consignment includes motorized scooters, wheelchairs, electronic and manual hospital beds, and other assistive devices. This is the first of the 2 consignments that the association will receive from PhysioNet UK. Assistant Women Minister Vina Bhatnagar says these devices will be distributed to Fijians who need them the most.
The Ministry, on behalf of the Fijian government, wishes to congratulate SIA and PhysioNet UK for the 17th consignment. In addition to this, it is a pleasant coincidence that this consignment is the 100th from PhysioNet to disabled organizations around the world.
Up ahead, CBC worry for Mbambasing Alliance and Dikite Kitelati blessed with new opportunity.
Oira na ngone no de nunu ena bisi ni mataka.
Mersusunga da kena loma dina kilo mikron.
Sakena ngau na mitarlo bina no rabaksa ngai ka wala loma taki na ngone. Dala bina oya o meliki.
Bulre oya o Samuel Samuel.
Nama kikira ena be mataka.
Boniti kina rombuka.
Ni wai tiri kalima na miniti me ona kina tiri na kaloko. Ena Radio Fiji 1 na ndomo ibiti.
Indaw kina na mataka. Dan ramay na singabo.
The Lambasa football side is aware they'll have to play under wet conditions in the Champion vs. Champion series against Suva next week. All the players from last season are in training with the exception of Antonio Tuivuna. Aquila Dama with the details.
It's back to business for the CVC champions. However, Mother Nature will determine how they'll play against Suva.
We know the weather will be similar, so we need to adjust to the condition. So our normal usual play, the normal Lambasa one-touch football will be hard for us, but we are coming up with a plan to counter Suva.
Apart from the weather, the Mbambasing Alliance have other issues to worry about.
Challenges at the moment, I think all the teams are facing is the weather. It's one of the main challenges we are facing. Otherwise, sometimes the leave problem for some of our players who are working.
Despite the challenges, preparations are well on track.
Well, we are defending champion. We accept a very tough game against Suva. I know Suva is a very good team, very good side. So it will be a very good game upcoming week.
The first leg of the CVC series will be played at the ANZ Stadium next Friday, and the second leg will be held at Ratu Thakombo Park in Nosori next Sunday. Aquila Dama, FBC Sports.
The Mobile Uprising Sevens has been postponed. This has been confirmed by Tournament Director Ropati Kauvesi. The tournament, which was scheduled to kick off today, will now be played next week at the Uprising Sports Complex in Pacific Harbour. Kauvesi says the decision has been made after consultation with the relevant stakeholders.
The final say is making decisions with the match services that we called today, and also had a chat with NDMO, the Dismac team, through consultation with him.
Support is the key pillar for any team as they strive to make their dream a reality. Participating in the Fiji Rugby Union Super 7 Series doesn't come easy for the Wandingi Salvo as they've encountered challenges throughout their journey. The team received an extra boost ahead of the Super Series campaign. Rugby is a way out for most of the players, and backing from the wider community goes a long way for them.
These boys were blamed for so many things, and this assistance has helped boost their morale, so we are so thankful to this company for supporting the Wandingi team.
Texas-based club Houston Cybercats knew inclusion Veramun Dikindikelati's only connection to the rest of the world was rugby. Dikindikelati, who was raised in a remote village in Lomainita Siri, says his only goal was to play Major League Rugby, and today he has achieved that. Dikindikelati will join Houston Cybercats for the 2021 season. Growing up watching his parents work hard to give him a better life, Veramun Dikindikelati knew he had to find a way to give back to them.
Before I started playing, I kept telling my parents that one day I will make them proud. They are my motivation every day. I know that this can bring a better life not only for me but for my family.
The Olympics is set to commence on July 23rd. Heavy rain and wind will be experienced over most parts of the country today. A flood warning is in force for low-lying areas. That's FBC Morning News. Join us at 7 p.m. for a major bulletin. For news you can trust, to get the facts from FBC's TV, radio and digital news at fbcnews.com.fj. Take care and good morning.
हमारे खूबसूरत देश फिजी में चाइल्ड अब्यूज की घटनाएं आए दिन बढ़ रही हैं।
क्यों बच्चों का मासूम बचपन अब्यूज का शिकार हो जाता है?
अपने बच्चों की सुरक्षा का खास ख्याल रखें।
उनसे बातचीत करें, उनके दोस्तों के बारे में जानें।
आज के बच्चे देश का भविष्य है। मैं दीप्ति
और मैं मोनिश,
आपके हमसफर। शामिल हो जाए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे
5:45 AM से 10 AM तक
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर।